Good afternoon from Danville, Illinois, and welcome back to the NJCAA Division II Men's Basketball Championships. This is Pima Aztec Basketball Radio, an audio-only broadcast as the undefeated Aztecs take the floor once again with a trip to the Final Four on the line. Ryan Sirk here with you in the broadcast booth. Today it's a matchup of top seeds as the fourth-seeded Pima Aztecs square off with the fifth-seeded Iowa Central Tritons in a quarterfinal showdown. Both teams survived and advanced to get here and now are just one win away from the national semifinals. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's quarterfinal matchup. And first with Iowa Central, head coach Mason Denholm sends out Tashin Pender, C.J. Mitchell, Jalen Winter, Alex Semper, and Jordan Kane. As for the Aztecs, head coach Brian Peabody sends out his typical starting five. Isaiah Hill, Rowan McKenzie, Isaac Johnson, Brock Mendoza, and Mason Hunt. How both of these two teams got here? Well, Pima won 2 days ago against Davidson-Davie by 20-plus points. Meanwhile, 3 days ago is when Iowa Central last played their game. That one ended 69-50 against the 12th-seeded Schoolcraft Ocelots. And their reward is to face off against arguably one of the top teams in the entire country of the undefeated Pima Aztecs. Pima come out with their home grays as the higher seed with Pima across the chest in blue. Meanwhile, on the flip side of things for Iowa Central, it's all black with a light blue trim down the side and Tritons in light blue across the chest along with light blue numbers across the back. We're just about set for some basketball in what is the biggest test so far for the Aztecs, and the biggest game of the season falls here at the Mary Miller Center and Dick Shockey Court in Danville, Illinois. It's Semper against Mendoza to tip things off. And the ball is up, and Mendoza wins it, tipped back to Isaiah Hill, and we are underway as he crosses the timeline. McKenzie right wing. Now Mason Hunt at the top of the key. Left wing this time. Isaiah Hill will try his luck and cash in. An early 3-point lead for the Aztecs, which continues their trend from the opening round against Davidson-Davie, where they knocked down 10-plus threes. 3-0 Pima, 30 seconds in. On the other side of the court, Pender, he drives in on Mendoza, gets a layup up, no good. Semper has the rebound, but it's ripped away by Hunt. Pima race across the timeline with Johnson. Then they'll slow things down with Hill. Cross court to the right wing to Hunt. He's defended tightly by Kane. Nice pass down low baseline to Johnson. He hoists it up, hits the iron, doesn't fall, and then it's tipped out of play by Kane. And the Aztecs keep possession on the baseline on the Jaguars print on the baseline at Dick Shockey Court. Thanks for tuning in on the Aztec Sports Network. The stream is not free on the NJCAA network as Mendoza gets the inbound and puts it up. No, head to the free throw line to shoot a pair with Pima up 3-0. And not even a minute in just yet as the 7-footer steps to the free throw line for the first free throws of the night. 5 p.m. local time, 3 p.m. in Tucson as Mendoza hoists up the first and knocks it down to make it 4-0 lead. Mendoza had a fantastic showing, 23 points, 8 boards, and 4 blocks in that opening round against Davidson-Davie, as his second free throw is good as well. Make it a handful of points early and a 5-0 lead for Pima as we cross the 1-minute mark of the ball game. Speaking of crossing, that's exactly what the Tritons have done into the front court. And now in the painted area, spin move by Pender. He misses it, air ball, but Semper there for the offensive board, and he floats it up 5-2 as he drops down the back basket with the opening 2 points of the ball game for Iowa Central. Johnson on the other side. He's on the right wing now, Hunt. He's double teamed. Someone's got to be open. His cross-court pass finds McKenzie. He drives in on the painted area, then gives it off to Johnson, who runs out of room on the baseline, has to throw it all the way towards midcourt, and it ends up out of play. And Iowa Central take over, looking to tie or at least cut down the lead early, 90 seconds in. Across comes Mitchell over to Semper. And for Iowa Central, they usually just play with 7 players as Kane loses possession. It's ripped away by McKenzie. 4-on-3 of Pima hurry. McKenzie goes coast to coast, puts it up, no good. Johnson's second effort is, though. Isaac Johnson with a putback tip puts Pima back up by 5, 7-2, 2 minutes in. Mitchell on the baseline on the opposite side. He goes all the way around the perimeter and then back up top to Winter. He's defended one-on-one against Hunt. Now back to the top of the key. Mitchell. He hoists it up for Pender, who gets the alley-oop and flushes it down with some authority. Make it 7-4 as it's tipped out of play immediately as Pima crossed the timeline. It was tipped out of play by Kane. And for Tashun Pender, he is the most athletic player in this tournament. Isaac Johnson a close second, but we've already seen Pender what he can do above the rim as the inbound pass is ripped away by Kane, and he'll slam it down with one hand. And it's a 1-point game at 7-6. And Pima call an early timeout. Head coach Brian Peabody not happy with how that inbound play occurred. And 2.5 minutes into the game, it's 7-6. Well, we mentioned how Iowa Central did take down Schoolcraft in the opening round, but they only gave up 50 points, but they are susceptible to the three-point shot. If Pima can shoot the ball as effectively as they did from the perimeter as they did against Davidson Davie, they're likely to be successful in this one as well, but a whole lot easier said than done because Pima did drop 108 points against the Storm. Out of the timeout, the 5 remain the same for Pima. It's Hill, Mendoza, Hunt, McKenzie, and Johnson. Same 5 as well for Iowa Central. That's Pender, Mitchell, Winter, Semper, and Kane. Full court defense against Hill as he crosses the timeline. Just inside the arc is Hunt. One more pass down low to Mendoza. He's rejected from behind by Pender. Iowa Central can take the lead for the first time. Kane, he drives in on Hunt. Euro step to the cup. Off the backboard, no good. And then second effort by Pender, who's been all over the glass on both sides. And he gets fouled in the act of shooting and heads to the free throw line to shoot a pair. The real downfall, though, for Iowa Central in that game against Schoolcraft is that they shot 13 of 24 from the free throw line as the first one swirls all the way around the rim. And we're tied at 7, almost 3 minutes. Second one from the lefty is no good. Rebound McKenzie. We remain tied at 7s, 3 minutes in. McKenzie across midcourt. Now Hunt. He drives inside the painted area, surrounded by 2. He has to reset up top to Hill, who drives in back into the paint. He hoists it up, hits the rim, but able to drop it down 9-7 as Pima take the lead, and then a offensive foul called on the inbound as C.J. Mitchell just pushed Isaiah Hill two-handed, and an easy turnover for the Aztecs who take over on the baseline. 16:50 left of the opening half. Hunt gets the inbound from Johnson. He's on the elbow, and then he gets fouled by Kane. 2 quick ticky-tack fouls that the Tritons really don't want to give up, especially with how much better Pima have been from the free throw line, especially in this tournament. The goal for the Aztecs, get in the bonus early as the inbound pass goes to the left corner. No good from McKenzie on the three-point shot. And again, Pender up for the board. He only stands at 6'5", but he averages 9 rebounds per game. Semper, he works on Mendoza, who gets a hand on the basketball, and then it's stolen away by Johnson. All the way up the floor, Mendoza, he couldn't get to it as it's intercepted by Semper, and he gets his get back as the Tritons come the other way. Mitchell with a screen from Semper. He drives into the paint, hoists it up, rejected by Mendoza, and into the hands of Hill. Mendoza has done a fantastic job manning the middle so far in this tournament. His 5th block already in 2 games as the alley-oop from Johnson finds Mendoza, and he lays it up and in. Pima into double figures for the first time. It's 11-7, 4 minutes in. Next stoppage will send us to immediate timeout. On the opposite side, here's Pender. He has it poked by Hill, and then a foul called against Isaiah Hill. The poster boy picks up his first and sends us to that media stoppage. We'll be back in a minute. Your score, 11-7 Aztecs, 15:46 to go in the opening half. You're listening to Pima Basketball on the Aztec Sports Network. Out of the timeout, 15:46 to go of the opening 20. 11-7 your score. Pima lead over the Iowa Central Community College Tritons. For the Tritons, they come in 27-6 on the year, 15-5 in conference play. Meanwhile, we know how good the Aztecs have been, 32-0. As we do have some personnel changes for Pima out of the break. Hill, Hunt, Green, Graham, and Fiegels as Mitchell gets the inbound, then finds Kane for the three. Hits at the heel of the rim, no good. And Pima look to run in transition. All the way up ahead. Green stops on a dime and will wait for the Cavalry. Cross-court pass. Fiegels catch and shoot three from the corner. No good. Rebound Hunt. He'll take a dribble, then put it right back up. That doesn't go either. And Sinclair can clear for the Tritons. They look to go on the counter. Kane, he finds a wide open Mitchell from the left wing. He left it short. Air ball. And out come Pima on the rebound from Green. Hill looks to push the tempo, finds a cutting Hunt. A no call as he hits the deck. We keep going the opposite way as Fiegels blocks the alley-oop attempt. Sinclair gets the rebound. Fiegels gets his hand on it and finds Pender. And all kinds of helter-skelter before Pender puts up the shot and gets fouled and heads to the free throw line to shoot two. What a end-to-end sequence we just had as G.J. Graham picks up his first, the third team foul. And Pender back to the free throw line. Again, the athletic lefty, not the best shooter per se, but he does like to live above the rim as he misses the first free throw. Pima shooting just 36% from the field, but Iowa Central 30%. As Pender's second is good. 11-8 your score, 5 minutes into the ball game. As Hill crosses the Jaguar logo at midcourt. Green. He looks to go one-on-one against Sinclair before going back left wing to Graham. He gets the mismatch against Sinclair. That means there's a matchup for Green. Instead, he loses possession. Sinclair takes it away. Transition moment again, this time a catch-and-shoot three that rattles in and out, no good from Pruitt before the offensive board by Winter. He'll try another three and hits the top of the backboard after hitting rim. And back-to-back threes that don't fall for the Tritons. The five on the floor for Iowa Central. Carter Loney checks in for the first time. Manny Luth out there as well, along with Dorian Pruitt. So three guys off the bench for the Tritons. They're out there with Winter and Pender. Pima with possession of the basketball in the front court. Hunt left wing. He'll catch and shoot straight on three. In and out, no good. Rebound, Loney. The big 6'11 freshman collects his first board of the ball game just 5 seconds into his appearance. 6 minutes in, 11-8. Another three-pointer from Winter on the dribble drive, no good. But an offensive board for Winter. Another opportunity for the Tritons to get some points as Jalen Winter calls out the play. In the corner is Luth. He'll find Winter again straight on, long three, and he cashes in. We're tied at 11. Not something you want to see for Pima is the three ball go down for Iowa Central. They're first on 6 attempts. Hill operates as the point guard. His pass down low ends up past the baseline intended for Hunt, and a turnover for Pima. Bring Iowa Central the other way. Ones across the board, 11-11. 6.5 minutes played. Hunt checks in, Hunt checks out for Johnson. So the 5 out there for Pima, it's Hill, Johnson, Graham, Mendoza, and Fiegels. Mitchell operates as the point guard, hands it on over to Luth. Mitchell, he drives inside the painted area. He looks to work one-on-one. Instead, he finds Luth wide open from the corner. Rejected by Hill, and it's off the knee of Mendoza, who got the rebound, but Loney poked it away off his kneecap. Interested to see that matchup of a pair of big guys as they go head-to-head. Triton basketball still as Loney drives straight in before cutting it back outside for Kane, who knocks down the left wing 3. First lead for Iowa Central, 14-11 Tritons. And another turnover from the Aztecs as they just crossed midcourt. Pima with back-to-back-to-back turnovers. And something's got to give for the Aztecs to figure out what's going on offense as Hill checks aside and Coach Peabody asking what's going on with the star point guard. Back into the action as Mitchell dribble handoff to Pruitt. Kane, he drives inside on Tavian Brown, who checked in for Hill and kisses it off the glass. A 5-point lead for Iowa Central. Graham over to Johnson. He's straight on from the basket. Gets a screen, drives in, then Fiegels catch and shoot 3 is no good. Rebound tipped around. Mendoza has it. He'll go back up. No call on the potential foul. Instead, it's rebounded by Mitchell on Mendoza's miss. Still a 5-point lead for Iowa Central as they look to build off it. Mitchell just inside the arc, long 2, no good. Mendoza skies for the rebound. Graham directs traffic. Mendoza, Brown all the way around the perimeter. He's on the left wing. Fiegels, another catch and shoot 3 from the right wing. No good. Rebound tipped out of play. It comes off the fingertips of Mitchell. And McKenzie and Hunt check in. Fiegels and Graham step aside for Pima. 12:01 to go in the opening half. Pima can cut the deficit to 1 possession if they can find a way to score some points. As the inbound is tipped, it goes all the way towards half court before it's corralled by Johnson. Brown, he dribbles around the perimeter. Hunt, he drives inside, in between 3, kisses it off the glass, and 1. Mason Hunt, physical play, and he'll have a chance at 1 more when we come back. 16-13 Iowa Central with 11:49 to play in the first half. We'll be back in a minute on the Aztec Sports Network. Out of the timeout. 16-13 the lead for Iowa Central, but Mason Hunt at the free throw line for his and 1 free throw. 11:49 to play of the opening half. Mason Hunt was the star performer. Last game, 30 points, 5 threes, all in the first half as he cashes in on the three-point play. It's back down to a 2-point deficit for Pima, 16-14 Tritons. Winter across the timeline. He finds Luth. Now just on the edge of the painted area, it's Kane. He works on McKenzie. Back up top is Winter. All the way around the perimeter again go the Tritons as Semper. He spins inside, tipped, gets it back. Pump fakes, a little too strong in the finish. Rebound Mendoza. Good defense on the interior by the Aztecs. Tavian Brown operates as the point guard with Isaiah Hill on the sideline. McKenzie. He hands it off to Brown. He drives inside in the painted area. Left-handed floater is good. A nice finish on the tough layup and ties things up at 16. Winter. Screen from Semper. He gets inside. Turnaround, fadeaway J from the elbow. Touches every part of the rim. Doesn't go. And a loose ball foul against Semper. That's the 5th team foul against Iowa Central. And Semper's first. Make it 2nd personal foul against Semper, so he has to sit. And it brings in Carter Loney. So again, for the most part, the Tritons go with a 7-man rotation, but they can sprinkle in some more rotation players as the game goes along. Hill checks back in for Brown. He operates as the PG. Hunt left wing. Defended tightly, gets a screen from Mendoza. Now double teamed. Over to Johnson. He'll try a right wing 3. Off back iron. No. Loney with a good box out. He forces a foul from Mendoza this time on the rebound attempt. His first personal. Good news for Pima. Can't have his height lost, especially with the height that Iowa Central do have down low. All tied at 16, about halfway through the opening half. Around the perimeter go the Tritons. Before they settle for a Winter 3, no good. Rebound Pender, who goes over the back and over the top of Hunt. He does get the board to find a wide open Jordan Kane, who makes no mistake about it and puts the Tritons up by 3, 19-16 Iowa Central. 10 minutes played so far. Hunt able to find Johnson. McKenzie catch and shoot 3. Rejected by Mitchell, but Pima have extra life thanks to the offensive rebound. Hill a long ways away from the basket. He ignores the screen from Mendoza, steps back into a 3 and cashes in. Isaiah Hill with a tough 3 with a man in his face, and he ties things up at 19. Only the 2nd 3-pointer for Pima, 2 of 9 from on the arc, and the 2nd for Hill. As Kane loses his footing, and it's stolen away by Hill. He loses the basketball, but luckily Mendoza there to pick it up. Hill finds a wide open Hunt in the right corner. In and out, no good. Rebound collected by C.J. Mitchell. A high-octane start to this ballgame as Mitchell drives in and an offensive foul. Hill takes the charge, and Mitchell picks up the personal. And it sends Pima the other way with 9:02 to play in the first half. Mendoza gets a quick breather as Green checks in. The personnel for the Aztecs, it's Hunt, Green, Johnson, McKenzie, and Hill. As for Iowa Central, Semper comes back in. He's out there with Luth, Winter, Kane, and Pender. The 10 protagonists of this one as Hunt has it. Now Johnson right wing. He drives inside in between the trees and able to maneuver his way through the forest and knock down the layup. 21-19 the lead for the Aztecs. 8:40 to go before halftime. Pender lost his footing but didn't lose the basketball. He works one-on-one against Johnson. Fantastic defense from the Defensive Player of the Year before an offensive board from Semper. Iowa Central have been active on the offensive glass. That's the 9th offensive rebound. They actually have more offensive rebounds than defensive rebounds. And a foul called will restart things up top for Iowa Central. Semper on over to Winter. Semper drives inside. A little too strong in the layup, but again, Pender there for the offensive rebound. Tied at 21. 8 minutes to go before intermission. McKenzie over to Johnson. All square as Hill gets a screen from Johnson. His step back long, 2 from the elbows off back iron. Rebound up for it is Pender. The rebounding department has been the big separator and why Iowa Central is still in this ballgame. They're shooting just 32%, but they've been able to get quite a few offensive rebounds and second chance opportunities as a mid-range jumper from the right wing is good for Jordan Kane. And on the opposite side, Pima go too quickly, and the ball ends up going out of play, and another turnover for the Aztecs. That's their 8th, and it sends us to immediate timeout. 23-21, Iowa Central lead on the Aztec Sports Network. Before we get back into the action on this court, wanted to update you on what went on in Hickory, North Carolina earlier today. The Pima women's basketball team Final Four bound as the 4th-seeded Aztecs took down Union County, New Jersey, the 12th seed, and advanced to the Final Four for the 2nd consecutive year as they look to bring home some hardware this time around. Back here at Dick Shockey Court in Danville, Illinois, it's 23-21, Iowa Central with the lead and the basketball as C.J. Mitchell crosses the timeline. Left wing 3 from Kane is a little too short, and a rebound Johnson. He'll take it across midcourt himself. The 5 out there on the floor for Pima. It's Johnson, Graham, Hunt, Green, and Hill. As Green gets it over to Hunt. His straight on 3. In and out, no good. Green offensive rebound. Another second chance opportunity for the Aztecs. As Hunt spins inside, stops, pops, puts it up, and one! Mason Hunt, too strong down low, and a chance at one more to give Pima the lead. Hunt hasn't necessarily knocked down threes from beyond the arc. He's got to do it the old-fashioned way, and this is his second three-point opportunity and a chance to give Pima the lead. We're currently tied at 23. And while we've got a chance, a shout-out to Michael, Steph, and Daniel for tuning in on the Aztec Sports Network. Thank you guys for being with me on this Thursday afternoon as Hunt gives the Aztecs a 24-23 advantage. Some better news for Pima. They're now in the bonus. As Iowa Central cross the timeline, here's Luth. He puts his shoulder in the Hunt. It doesn't move him, but he picks up the foul nonetheless, and the shooting foul as Luth stepped back into a jumper, and Mason Hunt picks up his first, but the team's 6th, and it sends Manny Luth to the free throw line, a 67% free throw shooter. And again, Iowa Central didn't shoot the ball well from the charity stripe against Schoolcraft, and so far today, just 3 of 5, a low sample size, but they have been able to extend the range better than Pima so far. 3 of 11, Iowa Central. 2 of 11, the Aztecs, which is not usual as Luth knocks down both and gives Iowa Central the 25-24 lead with 6.5 to go before intermission. Hill. Hunt straight on. He calls for a screen from Mendoza. Now gets it. Looks for some options. Finds Johnson, who cuts in baseline. Back up top. Hill, and he steps out of bounds. He was looking for a foul call, picked up his dribble, stepped on the baseline, and turns it over. 9th turnover for Pima. This isn't what you're used to hearing or seeing from the Aztecs this season. We knew this was going to be a fight, and so far it's lived up to the billing as Maloney finds Luth down low. In the corner, it's Pruitt, his 3. Off front iron, no good, and rebound Graham. Pima can take the lead once again. Little switch pass on over to Mendoza, who cuts inside the painted area and uses 2 hands for safety to make it 26-25 Pima. 2 heavyweights exchanging blows here in the quarterfinal as a long 3 rattles around, no good, tipped into the hands of Mendoza. That 3 came off the hands of Luth. Graham in transition. He steps out of bounds. Sloppy play from the Aztecs is the reason this one is as close as it is. And a 30-second timeout by Iowa Central. We can run down some of the numbers individually for Pima. Again, they've only knocked down 2 threes, and both have come from the poster man, Isaiah Hill, who has 8 points to lead Pima in scoring. Other players with 6, Brock Mendoza and Mason Hunt. Meanwhile, for Iowa Central, they do have a player in double figures, Jordan Kane, 5 of 8 shooting, including 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Alex Semper leads the way in the rebounding department with 6, but Pender not far behind with Iowa Central do have 9 offensive boards, but the rebounding numbers are the exact same at 18 total rebounds apiece. The personnel out of the break, Fiegels, Hunt, Graham, Mendoza, and Hill for Pima. As the dribble handoff finds Kane. He's near the halfway line. He steps into a long 3 and cashes in. Another 3-pointer from Jordan Kane. He's up to 15 on his third 3 of the night. 28-26, 5 minutes to go before halftime. Mendoza, he's double-teamed. Able to get a cross-court pass, extra pass. Hill tries his luck to answer, and he splashes in another. Isaiah Hill's third 3, and the rebuttal gives Pima the 29-28 lead. Pima need to start knocking down some more as a foul's called on the opposite side. Kane was dribbling around the perimeter, and Fiegels bumped into him. So Jordan Kane a chance at the free throw line, shooting 1 and 1. And we can run down the personnel for Iowa Central as Pender checks back in. He's out there, obviously, with Kane. Also Luth, the other 2 in the backcourt, Winter and Pruitt, as the first earns him another. And we're tied at 29. Kane, a sophomore from Minneapolis, Minnesota, a 66% free throw shooter, leads the team in scoring at 7.5 points per game as his second touches every part of the rim and drops down. Good to see you, Jeffrey, on the Aztec Sports Network. Thanks for tuning in. I know it's not our typical broadcast, but we make do with what we got as Fiegels has it right wing. He finds Hunt, who drives inside. Hill then gets it back, and he puts it up high off the backboard and good. 31-30. We keep exchanging leads as the Aztecs take the 1-point advantage. 4.5 to play in the first as the runner doesn't go for Kane, who was feeling pretty hot on the offensive side. A rebound, Graham, who brings it across the timeline. Hunt drives baseline. It's cut off, so he has to spin around into a jumper, and that's his bread and butter. Love to see the sweet shot from Mason Hunt drop down, and it's 33-30 Pima with 4 to go before the break. Next stoppage sends us to a media break. Winter with a screen from Hill, and now he'll step back. Off back iron, no. Long rebound goes to Pruitt. Second chance opportunity again, but it's wasted as he throws it into the seats. And a lucky fan gets a touch of the game ball. And as promised, we'll take our final media timeout of the first half. 33-30 your score with 3:46 to play in the first. You're listening to Pima Basketball on the Aztec Sports Network. Welcome back into the broadcast booth. I'm Ryan Sirk. It's currently 33-30 Pima with the lead and the Rock with 3:46 to play in the opening half. The winner of this game faces off against Ellsworth Community College who took down the number 1 seed Des Moines Area Community College yesterday. So the 8th seed is in the Final Four, and one of these two teams will meet them there, and the loser will drop into the consolation bracket to face off against the 2 seed, Palm Beach State, who also lost. So the top seeds have been dropping like flies as of late. Back at Dick Shockey Court, Hill with the basketball. Hunt will rise from the left wing. Off back iron, no, and a tough rebound for Manny Luth, who can clear for the Tritons, who cross with Dorian Pruitt. A 3 on the opposite side, right wing, Winter, in and out, no good. Tipped around and finally collected by Mendoza, and that's the kind of thing Pender does on the glass, is just cause all kinds of chaos. As Johnson dribbles around the perimeter, able to get the pass off to Mendoza. Catch and shoot, left wing 3 from Fiegels is half back iron, no, and rebound goes to Winter. 4 on 2. Pruitt settles for the 3, left it short. Johnson gets the rebound and finds Isaiah Hill, who sprints across midcourt. Pima love to run in transition, and he does just that, coast to coast for Isaiah Hill, who uses the finger roll off the glass. 5-point lead for Pima, 35-30, a 2.5 to play. The scores table from Aztec Gym, tuning in on the Aztec Sports Network. It's great to have you guys at least tuning in, even if you can't be here in person, as Kane is fouled on the drive, and he heads back to the free throw line to shoot 2 as Fiegels picks up his second personal and the team's 8th. Kind of the trend of the tournament that we've seen so far is that the officials tend to be more lenient in the opening half and then start to pick up that whistle more in the second half. But there have been some slower, or I guess less hard fouls that have resulted in whistles in this opening half, as Hunt does have some blood on his uniform, getting that cleaned up. The fantastic athletic trainer April Jesse doing the job, as well as Coach Nico, as they scrub his jersey clean, and he's ready to continue. So the 5 out there for Pima. It's Johnson, Hunt, Mendoza, Fiegels, and Hill, with Jordan Kane at the free throw line shooting 2. As his first rattles on through, it's 35-31 at 2:25 to play. As McKenzie checks in for Fiegels, the 5 out there for the Tritons. It's Luth, Kane, Pruitt, along with Winter and Pender. We haven't seen Simper in quite some time due to him picking up some personal fouls. As Kane knocks down the second, it's 35-32 before Pima race across the timeline and swing it around the perimeter. Hunt will try his luck from the elbow and knock it down with a hand in his face, as Winter was all over Hunt, but undeterred, Mason Hunt puts Pima back up by a handful, 37-32. 2 minutes to go before the break. Winter, nice pass inside to Pender, who slams it down all over Mendoza, who also picks up the personal. And one slam from Tayshawn Pender. And he'll have a chance at one more, as the lead cut back down to 3. Pender has got to have a 40-plus inch vertical. Standing at 6'5", he jumped over the top of Brock Mendoza. His and one free throw is off back iron. Rebound Hunt, but a foul called on the rebound against Manny Luth will send Mason Hunt all the way to the opposite side of the court to shoot a 1-and-1. That's the team's 8th personal. And just like that, Mason Hunt can get 2 more. Has to make the first to get the second. 1:54 to play of the opening 20, as Hunt's free throw is good. Pima shooting just 21% from 3, but Iowa Central not much better, 23%. Coming in, we figured the three-point shooting was going to be the key, as Hunt vibrates the second one through. 39-34 Pima. who continue to wear their home grays even if they win this matchup. They've been wanting to wear their blue uniforms all season long. Kane able to find Pender down low, and he gets fouled. Double bonus now for the Tritons as Isaiah Hill picks up his second personal. The good news is Pender not a good free throw shooter. So far today, shooting 50%, 3 of 6. As his first is good. It bounces off the rim, off the backboard, and down. Brown checks in for Hill. He'll likely get this 98-second break to not pick up his third personal before halftime, as Pender's second does not go. It's a 39-35 lead for the Aztecs, who cross midcourt with G.J. Graham. McKenzie right wing, able to find Brown. Still around the perimeter go the Aztecs as Brown directs traffic. On to his left, still Brown on the perimeter. Picks up his dribble. His pass goes to Graham, who gets inside, able to lay it off to Johnson, who finds himself in a tough predicament. His layup no good as he tried to go up and under, in the rebound Luth. 60 seconds to play of the opening 20. 39-35, Pruitt. Over to Kane. He drives in. He's been the hot hand so far, as he's been all season. The Tritons slow things down for Iowa Central. Shot clock down to 7. Winter works one-on-one against Johnson. He stops and then has it ripped away by Johnson. Great defense from the Aztecs as a team as they look to go 2 for 1. McKenzie down low. Back up top, Brown. Graham now as he drives inside. Euro step, left hand, good. He flicks it up with one hand, and the Aztecs lead by 6. It's their largest lead of the ball game as the shot clock goes dark, and we've got 20 seconds to play before intermission. Pima should head to halftime with the lead. One final possession for Iowa Central as Kane drives in. His pass stolen away by Brown. Pima have one more opportunity at some points. 5 seconds. 4, Brown on the baseline. Passes it off to Johnson, who caps off the first half with a two-handed slam. 43-35 at the break. The Aztecs hold the 8-point advantage. It wasn't always pretty, but Pima have done the job of the opening 20, and we'll see if the three-point shooting figures things out in the second half of play. We'll have 2 segments here at halftime. We'll run down some of the numbers, and then we'll run down part of the tournament that we've seen so far here in Danville, Illinois. And you're listening to the NJCAA Division II National Tournament on the Aztec Sports Network. Back inside the broadcast booth, it's currently halftime between Pima and Iowa Central. The Aztecs hold a 43-35 lead, which is the largest lead of the game, thanks to an Isaac Johnson two-handed slam to beat the buzzer. Let's take a look at the halftime stats. Pima shooting a fantastic 47% from the field. They really picked it up towards the end of that opening 20, especially because the three-point shooting hasn't been there. 3 of 14 from beyond the arc, and all 3 have come from Isaiah Hill. On the flip side for Iowa Central, they're shooting just 31% from the field and 23% from beyond the arc, and they're only shooting just under 70% from the charity stripe at 9 of 13. The reason they are still in this game, though, is the offensive rebounding. They've had 10 offensive boards that have allowed second chance opportunities for the Tritons. Into the individual numbers, Jordan Kane leads all scorers with 19 points on 3 of 5 from beyond the arc, 18 points a game, so he's already surpassed his season average. As for the Aztecs, 2 guys in double figures. Isaiah Hill with 15 points on 3 of 4 shooting from three-point land and 6 of 8 from the field. The surprising stat, though, is Isaiah Hill doesn't have a single assist. He had 8 in that game against Davidson Davie, and he does orchestrate and pull the strings for Pima, so surprising to see no assists for him. Mason Hunt at 12 points, 0 of 3 from beyond the arc, but 4 of 9 from the field and 4 of 4 from the free throw line. Those are the first half statistics brought to you by Chapman Automotive Group, and we'll be back with segment number 2 to take a look at the rest of the bracket and what's been shaking out here in Danville, Illinois, as the halftime show continues on the Aztec Sports Network. Welcome back to Dick Shockey Court here at Mary Miller Center in Danville, Illinois. We still got about 4 minutes before the second half of action, so let's take a look at the Division II men's basketball championship bracket. Ellsworth just took down Des Moines Area Community College yesterday, so the winner of this game does face off against the 8-seeded Panthers on Friday at 6 p.m. local time. That'll be 4 p.m. Tucson time, and we're hoping that the Aztecs can get the job done. On the opposite side of the bracket, it's the host Danville Area Community College who beat the number 2 seed Palm Beach State College to advance to the Final Four. So the 7-seeded Jaguars are in the Final Four. And the final quarterfinal game between Milwaukee Area Technical College and Parkland College comes up after this one for the final spot in the Final Four. 20 minutes down and 20 minutes to go. One of these two teams will book their spot in the Final Four, and one of these two teams will head to the consolation bracket. It's currently Pima 43 and Iowa Central 35. We'll be back in about 2.5 minutes for second half play-by-play on the Aztec Sports Network. We flip sides, so from our broadcast position, Pima going left to right, and the Iowa Central Tritons going the opposite direction. It's the starting five back out there for both teams. For Iowa Central, that's Pender, Mitchell, Winter, Semper, and Kane. And for the Aztecs, it's McKenzie, Johnson, Hunt, Mendoza, and Hill. Iowa Central starts with the basketball, but Pima starts with the 43-35 lead, and the second 20 gets underway with a foul called against Isaac Johnson. And in fact, they won't call it a foul. Good news for Johnson. It ends up being a out-of-bounds play, so Johnson ended up tipping it out of play legally. It is still Iowa Central basketball in the backcourt as they look to inbound against Johnson, and this time they do. Johnson will have to go one-on-one and have his hands full against Jordan Kane for most of the second half, as he led all scorers with 19, as Semper faces up against Hunt a long way from the basket. As Kane now works against Hunt, he drives inside, his right-hand hook shot is good. Jordan Kane with 21 points, the lifeline for Iowa Central, as Hill dribbles around the perimeter. McKenzie left wing, finds Hunt just on the edge of the restricted area. He'll rise. No good. Johnson, offensive board. He gets fouled. It's on the floor as Pender picks up the personal. And that's an athlete-on-athlete play. The two most athletic guys in the tournament head-to-head. And Johnson wins that battle, gets the personal foul against Tayshaun Pender. That's the second on Pender as the inbound from Hill goes straight to Hunt. He goes towards the cup, no foul. A rebound, Semper. Iowa Central look to run in transition. Semper goes all the way to the rack and says, watch your head, and slams it down with two hands. 4-point lead for Pima, 43-39. Hill ignores the screen from Hunt. He goes left and rises from the mid-range and cashes in. Isaiah Hill is going to have to put Pima on his back. He's been the hot hand as he has 17 points on 7 of 9 shooting. An efficient 17 points as Semper works on Hunt down low. Back up top, wide open three for Winter, and he hits back iron. No rebound, Pender, as he fights off Mendoza. He kicks it back outside, Kane. His three, no. Pender, another offensive rebound. Mendoza gets the block. Pender gets it back, and this time he cashes in. Tayshaun Pender with 3 offensive boards, and he gets 2 more points, make it 45-41. Hill cuts inside. His floater left short, and a rebound, Kane. Iowa Central race the other way. Left corner three is good. Jalen Winter makes it a 1-point game, 45-44 Pima, and that 8-point lead erased in the blink of an eye for the Aztecs. As Pima call a timeout, we'll take one as well. 2 minutes into the second half, 45-44, Pima still lead on the Aztec Sports Network. (45-44), Pima with the lead and the basketball 2 minutes in to the second half. The Aztecs just simply got outworked in the opening 2 minutes of that game, or of this second half, as they allowed 4 offensive rebounds in 1 trip. Coach Peabody, that entire huddle, making sure his side knew how displeased he was with the lack of effort. McKenzie dribbles around the perimeter as Johnson gets the dribble handoff. He drives in, finds Hunt. Right corner three is no good, and rebound Mitchell. Pima still with just 3 3-pointers, and Iowa Central with a chance to take the lead. Mitchell out to Kane. He drives in, no good. Another offensive rebound. Mendoza this time blocks it, but Pender there to pick up the 3rd opportunity for Iowa Central. Wide open down low, but Hunt able to tip it into the hands of Mendoza. Pima don't go as quickly as they could have. Instead, Mendoza over to the right wing to McKenzie. Back up top is Hill. And now Johnson, he drives in. Spin move inside, no good. It spins off the rim, and rebound goes to Tayshaun Pender. His 10th rebound, he's got a double-double. 11 points, 10 boards. But stolen away by Hill on the opposite side. 4-on-2 of Pima hurry. Hill goes all the way to the cup himself. Misses the layup, but gets fouled by Jalen Winter and heads to the free throw line to shoot 2. Pima need to find a way to keep Tayshaun Pender off the boards. Not the tallest guy, but he has out-rebounded all of the tallest guys out there on the court. As Isaiah Hill's first is good. 46-44 the lead for the Aztecs. Slim margins as Hill looks to continue his hot start into the second half. His first free throw of the night was good, and his second a carbon copy. Make it 47-44 Aztecs. Slow moving is C.J. Mitchell as he crosses midcourt. He's got it again. Screen from Semper. He finds a cutting Pender who lays it up and in on the finger roll. Tayshaun Pender cuts the deficit to 1 for Iowa Central. Hunt on the opposite side. He'll try the tough midi. Swirls around, no. Johnson's second effort doesn't go either. Missed the bunny as Isaac Johnson couldn't believe it. On the opposite side, Kane rejected by Hunt. He gets the offensive board, then gets fouled by Mendoza as Brock's legs and Kane's legs got tangled up on the drive. That's the second team foul. Make it first team foul, but second on Mendoza. Graham checks in for McKenzie. The 5 out there on the floor for Pima. Johnson, Graham, Mendoza, Hill, and Hunt. Iowa Central with a chance to take the lead. 47-46 Aztecs as the inbound goes all the way to the backcourt, but corralled by Pender. Mitchell defended inside before he cuts it back outside to Winter, who swirls down the trifecta. 2-point lead for Iowa Central. Well, they've outscored Pima by 10 here in the second half. Hill over to Johnson. He's baseline. Graham back to Johnson. He cuts inside, goes all the way to the rim, and lays it up and in. We're tied at 49. Iowa Central look to take methodical approaches on offense and not give Pima too many opportunities. The leading scoring team in the country averages 107. As Iowa Central have held them to 49 after 25 minutes of play. Drive inside by Mitchell. He'll lay it up. No good. Too strong off the backboard and the rim. 2-on-2 as Graham and Johnson race forward. Graham will bring it back up top. Defended tightly by Semper. Hunt then gets fouled before the shot. And baseline inbound when we come back. 14:55 to go in the ball game. Nothing separates the two sides. We're tied at 49 on the Aztec Sports Network. $49 apiece, 5 minutes into the second half. And the big discrepancy for the Aztecs is they've only gotten 4 bench points the entire game. So 45 points have come from the starters as we're right back into the action on Dick Shockey Court. Green gets the inbound and then throws it away. Goes through the hands of Hill. 3-on-1 as Green has to defend all alone, but he able to stifle the offense from Iowa Central before a foul's called as Kane got the offensive rebound. Surprise, surprise, another O-board for Iowa Central, and Mason Hunt picks up the personal. The good news for both sides is that there hasn't been anybody in foul trouble as the inbound goes all the way up top to Luth for Iowa Central. Still tied at 49. Winter on the perimeter right wing. The dribbles against Johnson. Defended tightly. Shot clock down to 5. Luth drives in on Hunt. Good defense from Mason Hunt, but better offense from Luth, who gets the fadeaway J to fall. Six minutes into the second half. 51-49, Iowa Central lead as Hunt drives in. He lays it up and doesn't get it to fall, but gets fouled in the act of shooting and heads to the free throw line to shoot 2. Hunt with 12 points so far, but it hasn't been an efficient 12. 4 of 13 from the field, including 0 of 4 from three-point land. But the good news, he's 5 of 5 from the free throw line as he knocks down the first. Fiegels comes in for Johnson, and that's been also the difference for the Aztecs. The best three-point shooters on the team, both McKenzie and Fiegels, have gone for a combined 0 of 6 from beyond the arc. The only guy who's made a three-pointer, Isaiah Hill, and he's made 3 of them. As Hunt looks to tie and does. 51 all with 14 minutes left of regulation. Across come Iowa Central. Long 3 from Winter vibrates through. Jalen Winter has taken some ill-advised shots, but he's made them. 54-51, Iowa Central lead. Fiegels right wing 3, off back iron on the rebuttal as Hunt battles for the rebound and gets it. Hill then catch and shoot straight on 3. Gets the friendly bounce, touches every part of the rim and drops down on the rebuttal 3. We're tied at 54. Whatever you can do, I can do better as the heavyweights continue to exchange blows. Luth drives baseline, picked up by Hunt. Now Green, he'll dribble back up top. Pruitt drives in on Green, fakes the shot. Shot clock down to 10. Hill pokes it out of play, and an inbound baseline pass incoming for Iowa Central. Eight seconds on the shot timer as Mitchell gets the inbound and then swirls it on through. 56-54. Iowa Central lead with 13 minutes to go. Graham. Nice pass to Green, who cuts it back up top to Hill for 3. Little too strong as he eyed his 5th 3. Instead, Luth picks up the scraps and skies for the rebound. 2-point lead for Iowa Central as they look to add on. Straight away, long 3 from Luth is good. Iowa Central up by a handful, 59-54. Fiegels. Green able to get the pass off to Hill on the left wing. Hill drives inside, nice pass to Green, who gets bumped and fouled on the shot. And he heads to the free throw line to shoot 2. A lot of basketball still to be played, but this is territory that the Aztecs have not found themselves in all season long. Down by 5 this late into the game as Green's first is good. Fiegels checks out as we run down the 5 for both sides. It's Green, Graham, Hunt, Hill, and Johnson for the Aztecs. For Iowa Central, it's Luth, Winter as Green knocks down the second. It's 59-56, and Green now steps aside for Mendoza. So the 5 again for Iowa Central as they make changes as well. Aloni is out there along with Kane, Pruitt, Winter, and Luth. 3-point game, 59-56, 12-15 to play in regulation. Iowa Central with the lead and the basketball across midcourt. Kane, nice pass inside to Loney, who gets Mendoza off his feet, missed the bunny, and the rebound goes to Hunt. Pima can cut the deficit down to 1 or even tie. Hunt, top of the key. Jab step inside the paint, restarts things with Hill left wing. He'll try a tough fadeaway mid-range jumper, and it swirls around, no good. Rebound, Kane. He'll cross the timeline. Next stoppage, media break. Long three again, this time Pruitt, no good. Left side of the rim as Loney. No, make it Mendoza pokes it out of play. As promised, that media stoppage comes with 11:33 to play in regulation. 3-point lead for Iowa Central, 59-56. You're listening to Pima Basketball on the Aztec Sports Network. (59-56) the score. Iowa Central with the lead and the basketball. Baseline inbound upcoming as Jalen Winter gets the rock. He looks for an inbound play and just elects to go all the way to the backcourt to Pruitt. He works one-on-one against Hill. Gets it on over to Winter, right wing. He drives to the midcourt. Luth drives in on Mendoza. Spins. Settles for a tough fadeaway. Left it short. Didn't even hit rim. A rebound, Hunt, and the Aztecs come the opposite direction. Graham finds a cutting Hunt, who finds Mendoza down low. It's tipped, almost out of play, saved by Johnson. And Pima reset things with 15 on the timer. Hill finds Mendoza again. He lays it up, no good. Rebound, Loney. Another missed opportunity for the Aztecs to cut the deficit down to 1. It remains a 3-point lead for Iowa Central. 10:45 to play. As Kane gets inside, too strong on the high glass layup attempt as Iowa Central get back on defense. Didn't even want the offensive board. Graham in the painted area. Mendoza straight on three. It's good. The bank is open for Brock Mendoza, and we're tied at 59. He's 2 for 2 in the tournament and no bigger 3 of the season. Across midcourt comes Winter. Luth. He works on Johnson. Pruitt, he has it stolen away into the hands of Graham. Pima can take the lead as it's lobbed up for Johnson, and a foul called. It ended up going baseline, but a foul as Johnson rose up for the dunk attempt on the alley-oop. We'll see if they call it in the act of shooting or not, because technically he didn't have the basketball. So it is not a shooting foul. And in comes Rowan McKenzie for G.J. Graham. Isaiah Hill to inbound, baseline right. Up top, Hunt with Pima an opportunity to take the lead. Halfway through the second half as McKenzie catch and shoot three is off the rim, no good. Rebound, Simper. He hasn't been as effective on the offensive end as we would have thought, Alex Simper. A sophomore from Spain went 8 for 8 against Schoolcraft. But Iowa Central haven't needed him just yet. They've relied on this man, Kane, who fades away, no good, doesn't hit rim, and it's tipped out of play by Hill. With 9:41 to play, things remain tied at 59. Pima is in the bonus for the remaining 9:41 as G.J. Graham replaces Rowan McKenzie. The winner of this advances to the Final Four. Pender inside, rejected by Mendoza. Pima love to run in transition, especially Johnson, who misses the layup, gets fouled though, and heads to the free throw line to shoot 2. And a fun fact for you, Iowa Central just make their second national tournament appearance. Their first came in 2012. They didn't win any games that year, so they got their first win ever as a program in the national tournament against Schoolcraft. And they have a chance to double that by beating Pima here as Johnson misses the first. Johnson can give Pima 60 and the lead as his second is off back iron, no good. Luth collects the carom with 9:30 to play. Nothing separates the two sides, 59 all. Luth. Over to Winter. A long three from Luth, no good. Rebound Mendoza. Able to box out Sempera this time. Iowa Central have kind of settled into that long three-point attempts that have gone down quite a few times, actually, as Johnson has it left wing. Hill gets the pass and wants the screen from Hunt. Elects to dribble handoff to Mason Hunt. Shot clock down to 8, and Graham steps out of bounds right in front of the Pima bench on the sideline. The second time he's done that today. And the Tritons take over with Alex Semper. 8:52 to play. Ellsworth Community College in attendance to see who they're going to face in the semifinal. Johnson steps in front of a pass, but it ends up over the scorer's table and out of play. Pima's closest game this year came against South Mountain. That ended 51-50. And the Aztecs survived at home. Back into the action. Semper drives in on Mendoza. Back up top. Wide open three. Elects to go for a pass over to Kane, who rattles. No, it doesn't fall. The three-pointer from the left wing from Kane is no good. We remain tied at 59. 8:15 to play in regulation. Graham over to Hunt, and a foul called against Jordan Kane, who's had the hot hand on the offensive end. He has 21 points, but picks up his third personal. Again, nobody really flirting with too much of foul trouble. But Pima is in the bonus, so Mason Hunt shooting 1 of 1, as his first is good. I do believe in broadcast jinxes, so I won't mention his free throw line stats. As Hunt's second one is good. 61-59, your new score with 8:10 to play in regulation. Mitchell over to Pender. He fakes the dribble handoff, now gives it on over to Luth, who drives inside the painted area, in amongst 4, and he lays it in. Easy as you like. Manny Luth cuts inside the defense like a knife and ties things up at 61. Hunt tries a straight on 3 and rattles it down. Pima need him to get going from beyond the arc, and the Aztecs lead 64-61. 7:30 to play in regulation. Kane straight on. He drives in amongst Johnson, and he lays it up and in. Back down to a 1-point game, 64-63, as Jordan Kane gets point number 23 to lead all scorers. Graham, left wing. Over to Mendoza. Hunt wants it. He gets inside the painted area, puts it up, gets fouled, and heads to the free throw line to shoot 2 when we come back. 7:11 to play in regulation at 64-63 Aztecs on the Aztec Sports Network. Back here at Dick Shockey Court at the Mary Miller Center in Danville, Illinois. It's 64-63 Pima, with Mason Hunt looking to add on to that at the free throw line, shooting 2 with 7:11 left of the ball game. The 5 out there for Pima. It's Hunt, Johnson, Mendoza, Graham, and Hill. For the Tritons of Iowa Central, it's Semper, Luth, as Hunt's first is good. Now those two guys out there with Winter, Pender, and Kane. Pender has slowed down here in the middle stages of the second half. He started things on fire in the second half with multiple offensive boards as Hunt puts it back up to a 3-point lead for Pima, 66-63 with 7 minutes to play. Kane hounded by the Bulldog, G.J. Graham, who tries to pick the pocket of Pender, and he does this time on the help defense. Graham directs traffic right in front of the Pima bench. Coach Peabody also barking out orders to his side, who can take a 2-possession lead. Graham around the perimeter. Finds Mendoza down low, wide open, and his easy layup is good. 68-63, Pima up by a handful. Neither side has led by double digits here tonight. 6.5 to play. Winter pulls it out. He tries a long 3 from the corner, and it's good. Jalen Winter splashes home another 3. That's his 5th. 68-66, 6 minutes to play. Graham over to Hill. He continues to bark out orders on the left wing. Works down low on Luth. Outside, wide open 3. Hill from the corner is good. Nothing but nylon. Isaiah Hill puts Pima back up by 5. 71-66 with 7:45 to play. Whatever you can do, I can do better. Pretty much a carbon copy of Winter's 3 as Luth drives in and picks up a foul against G.J. Graham. Only the 4th team foul. Meanwhile, Iowa Central are up to 9 team fouls. So the next foul, Pima will be shooting 2 on every whistle. That results in a personal for the remainder of the ball game. Baseline left, inbound, upcoming for Iowa Central. Mitchell throws it all the way to the backcourt. Collected by Jalen Winter, who has had the hot hand from beyond the arc. 15 points, and all have come from three-point land. Kane from the left corner. He drives in. Has it poked away by Hill. All kinds of helter-skelter, and it's rebounded away by Hunt. No shot, but it did bounce off the rim. 5 minutes left. Pima up by 5. Hunt. He'll try a straight-on 3. Left rim, no good. Mendoza with the offensive rebound, and he uses some finesse to drop it on down. Pima up 73-66. And a timeout called from Iowa Central. 30-second break. And we can run down some of the numbers. Also an opportunity to breathe as this one is going to go down all the way to the wire. Pima shooting 44% from the field, 30% from 3, 7 of 23. But the main offense for the Aztecs, 16 of 18 from the free throw line. That's superb. They haven't been great during the regular season, but here in the tournament, they have been way above average. For Iowa Central, they're shooting 37% from the field and 9 of 27 from beyond the arc. 33% that is. But they've left much to be desired from the charity stripe. 9 of 13. That's 69.2% from the free throw line. Out of the timeout, Triton basketball as they go to the backcourt with C.J. Mitchell. He's defended tightly by Hill as he crosses the timeline. Dribble handoff to Kane. He's been the top scorer so far as his elbow jumper's left short and into the grateful grasp of Isaiah Hill. He'll slow things down and call out the play. Pima have gone through each and every play multiple times all season long. We'll see if one pays off here as Johnson gets it down low in the painted area, but too strong on the layup. And another whistle and a foul called as Manny Luth puts Isaac Johnson to the free throw line. That's the 10th team foul. And every foul from here on out, Pima will be shooting 2 free throws. Double bonus for the Aztecs, who can take their largest lead of the night. Should Johnson knock down both. He is 0 for 2 tonight, make it 0 for 3 as he hits back iron. Tayshaun Pender returns as he replaces Manny Luth, the culprit, and the reason that Johnson is at the free throw line. He has put up quite a few shots during the time here at Danville as his second free throw is good. Trying to improve that free throw percentage. Pima up by 8, 74-66 with 4.5 minutes to play. Mitchell. Simper. He directs traffic straight on. Kane gets it. A long three incoming from Winter. He hits the back iron, but the rebound, Pender, who out-chumps Mendoza. Kane, he gets fouled. A blocking foul called against Pima. It goes against Brock Mendoza, his third. I'll make it his 4th personal foul as Mendoza 1 foul away from seeing his quarterfinal end. Next stoppage sends us to a media break. Straight away, it's Mitchell down low as he finds a wide open Simper, and some bad news for Pima as Mason Hunt rolled an ankle trying to block Simper's shot. That's the last thing you want to see as an Aztec fan. We will step aside as the athletic training staff checks on Mason Hunt, who shrugs everything off, but we'll still step aside quickly on the Aztec Sports Network. We've got some good news to bring you out of the timeout. Mason Hunt seems to be A-OK as he just rolled the ankle, but athletic trainer April Jesse says everything is good to go, and we're right back onto the court with 3:45 to play. It's a 74-68 lead for Pima. Hill with a screen from Mendoza. Johnson over to Mendoza. He'll try from the elbow and knock it down. Easy mid-range jumper for the 7-footer from Layton, Utah, who did get 3 Division I offers 2 days ago as he looks to add on to his repertoire. On the opposite side, Kane inside, and he gets fouled in the act of shooting, and he heads to the free throw line with Pima up 76-68, 3:22 to go in regulation. Kane, so far today, we've talked about his high-scoring day, but it hasn't been too efficient. 8 of 20 from the field as his first free throw is good. Hit front iron and then back iron before dropping. He's perfect from the free throw line and 3 of 7 from beyond the arc. Does have 3 personal fouls, though, as his second is good as well. 76-70, 3:20 left in the ball game as Hill saunters across the Jaguar logo at midcourt. Johnson over to Hunt. Fakes the pass, drives inside, no call, misses the jumper, and the loose ball taken away by Iowa Central as Mitchell Comes across the timeline quickly before finding Winter from the corner. That doesn't fall. Long rebound near midcourt. It's collected by Jordan Kane. Under 3 minutes left. It's a 6-point game as Semper has it wide open down low. And he cashes in to make it 76-72. And we go all the way down to the wire. Photo finish expected here in Danville, Illinois. Graham on the right wing. Johnson, top of the key, able to find Hunt. He drives in, forces it up. He left it short. Rebound goes to Kane on some good defense. Hunt still a little shaken up in the backcourt. In the front court, Mitchell able to find Winter for three. And he splashes it down. 76-75. 2 minutes to play. Holy moly, what a game this has been. Graham looking for some options. Defended by Winter. Gets it over to Hill. Shot clock winds down to 10. Pima need points. They need them bad as Hill splits the defense. Alley-oop attempt for Johnson. He missed it, but he does get fouled and heads to the free throw line to shoot two. 1:45 to play in the ball game. Johnson slow to get up. And this game taking a toll on the Pima players. Iowa Central, the more well-rested team. They played Monday, so they got 2 full days of recovery. Pima played Tuesday, so they only got 1 full day of recovery. But from here on out, it's a sprint to the final. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, all games for whoever's lucky enough to play in the championship game as Johnson misses the first free throw. Johnson 1 for 5 from the charity stripe. Now this one's a big one. Second free throw is good. 77-75, 100 seconds remaining as Iowa Central call a timeout as they make some changes and discuss an important possession in the front court. A 30-second timeout. We'll keep it here. Iowa Central have elected to go for the 3-ball, mostly because they've had the advantage on the offensive glass. They've been able to shoot the 3-ball and then get the offensive rebound and then still get a 2-pointer, or at least a 2-point attempt. So we could see that out of the break. Or we could see them drive inside, trying to get fouled, and knock down 2 free throws to tie the ball game up. A lot of options for Coach Denholm's side as Iowa Central, the first team out of the huddle. They're 5 on the court. Winter, Kane, Semper, Mitchell, and Luth. Luth to inbound. The 5 for Pima. It's Mendoza, Hunt, Graham, Hill, and Johnson. Inbound goes to Mitchell. A man-to-man defense from the Aztecs. A screen sets up Semper, rejected by Hill illegally. That sends Alex Semper to the free throw line to shoot 2. It was good help defense from Hill. He just lacked some size, so ended up hitting the arm of Semper instead of the ball. And Semper to the free throw line, shooting a pair. A chance to tie, as his first is no good. Again, Iowa Central not the best free throw shooting team. Left quite a few points up at the charity stripe against Schoolcraft, but it didn't come back to bite them. Could it bite them here as Semper does knock down the second. It's a 77-76 lead for Pima, who have possession of the basketball. Johnson replaced by McKenzie. And we've got 90 seconds to play of regulation. Hill across the timeline. McKenzie. Up top, left wing is Graham. Dribbles around the perimeter. He's now right wing. It's a screen from Mendoza. Looks to run the pick and roll. He'll lob it up. It's intercepted by Semper, and Iowa Central get the stop they needed. 1 minute remaining, 77-76. As the Tritons slow things down and need a good offensive set. As it's outside to Winter for three. Off back iron. No, McKenzie collects the board. He'll slow things down, and Graham looks to Peabody for the play call. 45 seconds to play. 77-76. Pima with the lead and the basketball. Hill defended up top by Winter. And now Semper. McKenzie for three. Left it short. Rebound Mitchell. Shot clock goes dark. Iowa Central can hold for the final shot. Instead, Mitchell drives inside, finds a cutting Pender, and he lays it up and in. 78-77. Iowa Central take the late 1 point lead with 18 seconds to go. Timeout. Coach Peabody. He'll have something drawn up. They don't have to wait for the final shot. It is a full timeout, but we'll keep it here. Goodness gracious. The season on the line. Both teams looking to avoid dropping into the consolation bracket. Winner advances to the Final Four against Ellsworth tomorrow. We are having a replay review to check out exactly how much time is left on the clock. It's not going to really matter in the grand scheme of things. Maybe a second will be added. It's currently at 18.6. As the Aztecs need something, don't need a three. Down by one, 78-77. Two of the top seeds have already been eliminated. Pima looking to avoid being taken down by the fifth-seeded Iowa Central Tritons. Now the personnel for Pima: Johnson, Graham, Hill, Hunt, and Mendoza. For the Tritons defensively, it's Semper, Kane, Pender, Mitchell, and Winter. They add on 0.4 seconds, so we've got exactly 19 to play. And Pima in the backcourt. All to play for. Hill picks it up and crosses the timeline. 15 seconds to play. Screen from Hunt. Almost lost possession. Graham keeps it in play. 10 seconds to go. Graham looks for some options. Drives inside. Now Hunt. Shot clock down to, the game clock down to 4. Pima loses possession and a foul called. With 1.7 on the clock, a Pima foul, Jordan Kane, to send him to the free throw line. Jordan Kane to shoot two. Best he can do is put the Tritons up by 3. Worst he could do would be miss both. Pima don't have much time to work with. Again, 1.7 seconds on the timer as Kane puts up the first free throw, hits back iron, rebound Mendoza, quick timeout called by Pima. Now they got it off with 1 second, which is enough time for a catch and shoot. As the 1-and-1 isn't converted by Kane, Pima have one final shot to take the lead at the buzzer. The best game of the tournament so far, as the officials will check just to make sure exactly how much time is left. They'll probably add maybe 2 or 3 tenths of a second. Still enough time for a catch and shoot, maybe even an alley-oop if the Aztecs are bold enough to do so. It doesn't get much bigger than this. Who's going to show up as the hero? Who do you trust in this spot to take the final shot for the Aztecs? Is it going to be Mason Hunt? Or is it going to be Isaiah Hill? Those are the two likely candidates to take this buzzer beater for Pima. who will have to get this ball up the court quickly, though. They called a timeout on the rebound, so they'll be all the way in the backcourt. 1.3 on the timer. Hill set to inbound. Pima with everyone in the front court, but and now Iowa Central calls the timeout because Pima played their hand. Now they can rebuttal what they want to do defensively. Pima did practice this exact scenario earlier this week in practice with 2 seconds on the clock. They drew up a play to try to beat the buzzer down 2. And let's just say out of the 10 that they tried, they did convert 1. And it came off the hand of Mason Hunt. Likely to go with that play that we're likely to hear is Isaiah Hill will launch it all the way up the floor to Mendoza. He'll catch it, lay it off to Hunt, and Hunt will try the buzzer beater 3 to send Pima into the Final Four. The Aztecs practice these scenarios for a reason, but they're going to go with a different play. Mendoza set to inbound in the backcourt. Enough time for a catch-and-shoot 3 as Mendoza collects. He throws it all the way up ahead to Hunt. His turnaround jumper is blocked, and that's the ball game. Pima wanted a foul called. They want a review, and the officials get off the court, and that's how the season ends. 78-77, Iowa Central come from behind in the second half and take down the undefeated Pima Aztecs. Pima plays again tomorrow, so I guess the season isn't completely over. And they'll play against Palm Beach State tomorrow in the consolation bracket. The 2-seeded Palm Beach State. And it's going to be hard to bounce back for the Aztecs, who were extremely close to taking down Iowa Central here tonight. But full credit to the Tritons. They were down by 8 with about 5 minutes left. They showed no quit and came back. And when it mattered most, they got the job done from three-point land and from inside the arc. And all credit to the Iowa Central Community College Tritons, who make their first appearance in the Final Four and win their second game in program history in the national tournament. Final numbers from Danville. Isaiah Hill led the way for the Aztecs with 25 points, and 9 of 14 from the field, 5 of 7 from 3. And Mason Hunt not far behind with 21 points, but 5 of 18 from the field. He did knock down all 10 of his free throw attempts, went 10 for 10. Mendoza with another double-double, 15 and 12. For the Tritons, Jordan Kane, as he's done all season long for Iowa Central, 25 points and 5 boards on 8 of 20 shooting. Stay tuned. We do have one more broadcast coming your way tomorrow as we take a look at what time that's going to be. It's at 1 p.m. local time, so 11 a.m. Tucson time, a Friday morning game between Pima and Palm Beach State. Before signing off, I want to say thank you to you, the listener, for tuning in with me for this absolutely amazing game between the Aztecs and the Tritons here this afternoon in Danville, Illinois. Without you, there would be no broadcast. I'd also like to thank the entire NJCAA for making this possible, for allowing me to broadcast this game here in the press box at Mary Miller Center. And we'll have one more game coming your way. But once again, your final score in the Elite Eight is where Pima bow out. The 4-seeded Pima Community College Aztecs fall to the 5th-seeded Iowa Central Tritons, 78-77. I'm Ryan Sirk saying so long and